Welcome back, boys and some girls. This review started out just like any other stupid review for me. I just sat there expecting to find so many plot holes and nonsense storylines, yet I was surprised. Don't get me wrong, there were some stupid plot points and unfunny moments and jokes, stuff like that, but there were very few. Most of this 25 episode series feels great and no moment feels wasted. Things like random filler to bloat out the episode actually made sense, with the very few exceptions being the stupid moments I mentioned before. If you want to watch those specifically, I made a live reaction type of video. Go watch that. It had mostly those kind of moments. From here on out, I'm going to start talking about the story and I'm going to spoil everything. So if you don't want any more spoilers, stop watching the video now and go watch the anime itself. I really do recommend it. It is in my top 10 of all time. Alright, so The Fable is a series about a pro hitman who is our main character, needing to lay low for a bit, about a year, because he drew too much heat from doing all the jobs he had done so far. With him, you also have his driver partner. She's also a pro, just not quite as much as Hades is. Mostly she drives him around to a location and provides the overall support. The MC himself is the one who usually does all the physical kind of stuff, including the assassinations. His talents are pretty obvious. He has like superior physical ability as well as exceptional smarts. His partner is quite similar, just lower on the scale of stuff, but she has the ability to memorize things to an exceptional degree. Together they complete jobs for the organization. They are leagues above all other criminals in the underworld. I'm not going to start explaining each episode, but I will give you the overall story in a big chunk, so ready yourself. The story divided into two parts. Part number 1 is from episode 1 to 12. Part number 2 is from episode 13 to 25. Part 1 starts with the main character and his partner being given fake identities as brother and sister. They have a relation to a certain Yakuza group leader. They are given houses to live in by that Yakuza group and are to be left alone for a whole year. But as this is a 25 episode series, you can guess that the quiet will not be kept for long. Right after arriving there, the deputy of the Yakuza group start trying to kick those two out of the city for fear that they will actually cause some kind of trouble. This is a thing that will repeat throughout the whole series, with people trying to cause trouble to those two siblings for fears the siblings will actually do something, but by doing that, they actually made the siblings force them to act in a way that could have been prevented if they simply left them alone. So after a whole bunch of tests and interesting things, like the MC actually getting like an ordinary job in a printing company, which is very cool, the deputy decides to leave them alone, to live in peace in the city. He doesn't want to bother them. Problem is, his brother is getting released from prison pretty soon, and he served 15 years for murder. His brother is problematic, and he knows it. He knows it will cause some kind of trouble. But just the moment that the brother is being released from prison, the deputy gets a heart attack and is forced to stay in the hospital for a while. This lets the newly released inmate to actually do whatever he wants. He starts building up like a call girl business, you know, night ladies working business. And the first lady actually wants to have in his fine establishment is the same girl that works together with the main character in the small printing company. That poor girl not only has to deal with that the Yakuza are looking for her, she also now has to deal with the stalker that actually comes into her house, tries to film up her skirt. He has some hidden cameras in her house. He occasionally, he stole her keys and he occasionally comes into her house to smell her underwear and stuff. The whole thing is totally creepy and just disgusting. They really did nail the whole creepy vibe from this moment. For some reason, I don't know why still yet, it kind of bothered me, not too much, but a little bit. The MC is in love with her, or maybe is overly appreciating of what she has done for him. She kind of got him the job, and he feels like he needs to protect her and help her. So he does small things like ruining the stalker, photographs. He basically switched his camera viewpoint, or he takes his hidden videos, stuff like that, but it doesn't blatantly stop him. It doesn't completely stop him. It doesn't do anything with it. So I'm not really sure what's going on here. It's not really explained also, What I believe it is because the MC is like new to having feelings, he doesn't even know what to do with it. So he's like half doing it, half not. He's also saying that he cares how she feels, but he doesn't really show it. It's very like new to him, the whole concept of feeling feelings. So maybe that's the reason he doesn't really do much with it. Later on, the same girl is forced into the call girl business due to the fact that the former inmate keeps beating up her like bosses. And constantly, I don't know why, but then she agrees to actually go into the call girl business. Again, I don't see why she would agree to it. I would go to the police, but maybe this is because she has a very good nature, so she doesn't want people to get hurt, so maybe that's the reason she did that. In the background to all of this, we also have another plotline brewing up, and it is between the former inmate and another Yakuza member. Both of them have like a call girl business that both of them draw money from each other, so naturally they are rivals. They agree to meet in some sort of a warehouse to discuss what's going to happen next. So to the meeting they bring the poor girl from earlier, to show the merchandise, kind of. They also kind of use her in the meeting, they try to at least, obviously. Besides that, the Yakuza member also he succeeds. He hires an assassin to try and kill the former inmate. They all each one of them has like a plan to do something, stuff like that. But the MC has a different plan. He comes and he ruins both of their plans by rescuing the girl and kidnapping the former inmate. The girl is shocked and she goes into the sister's house because they were already friends from before. And the brother, goes with the former inmate into the deputy's location. He has like a place with him. He goes over there with him. And now, finally, after all of this, by the way, in case you forgot, the deputy, he's the brother to the former inmate. And now, after all of the trouble he's caused, only now, the deputy actually like tries to say like, oh, you have been a bad boy. What you did wasn't good. He could have done so before and he saved us all like a whole lot of sadness. But I guess it's like plot armor or whatever. I don't know why he didn't do that. The scene ends with the former inmate being killed by the deputy, his brother, and it's pretty much how part 1 ends. Obviously I left out a ton of scenes because this is like 5 hours of cinema until now, 5 hours of anime, and I can't explain everything to you in like a short video. Now for part 2 we actually get a very similar kind of settings with another criminal group that is being in the area. They kind of start to get close to the MC without even knowing who he is, due to them messing with some people in his life. I can't even speak. This time the main lady in the story is a girl who saw the MC killing a criminal that tried to get her into sex work. Obviously force her, he didn't ask. Unfortunately, she has gotten into an accident shortly after the whole situation, and now she has lost the ability to walk. She's bound to a wheelchair, and she's now part also of the new criminal organization thing. The leader of this new criminal group is one of the targets, is a previous target the MC had to kill, but he actually managed to run away before he was killed. And now he's looking for a way to actually get back at the main character and kill him so he can actually sleep in peace. That disabled girl we just talked about until now, the main new girl, she goes to the park to do some physical therapy on her own because she wants to eventually walk again. She encounters MC, the MC goes to work. Every time he goes to work, he sees her in the park doing some physical therapy. He recognizes her immediately. He goes up to her. He tries to give her some advice how to like improve and be better with what she's doing. She doesn't really like it too much, but again, I think he feels like bad for what he did. They don't really explain it, they don't really say it. Throughout the whole series, he doesn't show any emotion, he doesn't explain what he really does. It's my interpretation of the situation. They also say it at the very end, and he like stays quiet, he doesn't say no or yes, but the assumption is yes, that's what he feels. So I think that's the reason he came up to her and tried to like give her like advice and try and make her physically better. Now if the creep from the previous, like from the part 1, wasn't enough for you, in this part the group leader, the new criminal group leader, he actually sexually abuses the girl every single day for years. Every single day, for years. It is very obvious that they're trying to show that this girl is like, she's in need of a rescue, she is the damsel in distress, she is the oh no poor girl. You can see it from a mile away. but it still got me. I was invested, even though I knew what was coming and how it was going to be resolved. Obviously, the whole, like, the big story, not the, like, the details. But I knew it, I was right, but it still got me. And once again, we have a whole lot of interesting scenes and plot lines, but what I don't have is the will to edit 3-hour videos, the kind of review that I do want to make. So I will jump to the very end, and where, just as I expected, and I guess you expected also, the MC save her with like a very interesting final scene. And I think it's the first time I'm pretty sure it's the first time the bad guys and the good guys actually won at the same time. The ending isn't good or bad, it is yours to interpret. Do what you think. Again, it is by no means like an open kind of ending that you have to, oh, what's gonna happen? No. We do get some closure, but you do still need to think. After I told you all of this, and you're caught up with the story up until now, let's do a bit of a breakdown. I will start by saying what I think is the real plotline in this whole series, and it is mentioned during the ending of part 1. What I talk about is about acclimating the MC into civilian life. Apparently the whole reason for the 1-year break isn't due to the heat the MC needs to lose, or oh, we need to lay low. No, it's not that. It simply wants to be, the organization want to check if you can take a machine that is very dedicated toward one goal. Everything inside of it is like to one simple thing. If you can do something different with it, like even like the complete opposite, can you do it? Can you stop whatever the machine was dedicated to do something that's different, maybe even the opposite? My answer after watching this, like this whole series, is no. Even if you asked me before, no, that's my answer. And you can imitate the life, you can try and mask up and do some different stuff with it, but no, eventually you're still the same thing. You cannot change what you are. You are what you are. You have to accept it, and I think the MC is going to accept it also. But maybe with more time and more series I will think different, but right now that's my answer. Personally, I hoped for a bit more siblings relationship between the two partners to actually show what a good team the Fable and his driver are. But we mostly got separate storylines, with the MC doing the main chunk of the main storyline, while the sister, the driver, was doing like the side quest. She was mostly like going to bars, getting drunk, getting other men drunk, and like laughing at them while they were falling on the floor and stuff like that. It is, I think, a bit of a wasted. It wasn't like completely, oh no, this destroyed the series. But I was a tiny bit like, come on, I want to see more than that. Maybe we will see this at some point in a follow-up series. I don't know, who knows, we'll see. I really did not feel like I wasted my time watching any moment in this series, but it does not mean that the series was perfect. It did have some stupid moments. Like, for a moment there was a guy that had a manual reload gun. Every time he shot like one, he had to physically with his hand reload. Now while he was doing that, he caught one guy, like one of the Yakuza members. He caught him like from the neck, from behind. He was aiming a gun to his head, like to the guy's head. This guy, the Yakuza guy, had another friend in front of him with a gun aimed to the first guy's head. Like, let's say I'm holding somebody, I have a gun to his head, and you have a gun to my head. Now I already shot, my gun is empty in the chamber. I don't have a gun to shoot, I don't have a bullet to shoot right now. I'm just aiming like an empty gun right now. I have to manually reload, and then I can shoot again. You can shoot me, but that guy didn't do it. I don't know why. And it wasn't like he was far away. He was like the same distance from me and the camera, like what you can see this close. You can shoot me no problem in my head. Maybe a bit farther away, like 1 more meter, something like that. But a very close distance. There is no reason he would actually miss. And he was a hitman. It was like he was some random guy from the street. He was a hitman, so that's his job. Okay, one of our first dumb moments, okay? This guy in the picture that you see, he has using a gun that usually has, after every like shot, he has to manually reload again the gun. Now watch here, he shoots his first shot, right? He shoots his first shot right here, boom, first shot gone out. Now he needs to reload before he does it again. Now watch this guy, he doesn't shoot, okay? He can shoot. Now what's going on here? He's aiming the gun into his head, but he cannot shoot. He has no bullet in the chamber. the other guy can shoot him in the face and everything is going to be good, but he doesn't. He waits until what happens. Look him. This guy. Reload. Now he can shoot again. Dumb. But again, those moments are very few, and they mostly happen with side characters and not the main plot line, so they feel much less important, and it didn't bother me as much. However, there was one moment that actually really bothered me, and it happened near the very end of the series. There's a guy with a ponytail. He was working with the new criminal group leader, the very guy I hated, the guy, and he knew exactly what was going on. He knew that the group leader was abusing the girl every single day. He knew how he was manipulating people. He knew how he was taking like rich kids and taking all the money and then like abusing the parents and manipulating everybody and just killing them. He knew all of that was going on. He was his partner. He helped him do his business. He was doing everything together with him. But suddenly near the end, he gets like a change of heart because the evil guy suddenly wanted to kill the girl. He didn't care about her anymore. But that's kind of BS. I'll tell you why. Because they planted a mine near the wheelchair of the girl, hoping the main character will actually come to rescue her, to help her, and then he would step on the mine and blow up together with her. So I don't really get what they're doing, like, oh no, I don't want her to die now. He knew, he was planting the mine together with him. So that's kind of, no thank you. He knew what he was doing. We don't need a change of heart just because we need somebody to operate the crane at the very end of the last episode. The episode 1 before the last. No, somebody else can do it. I don't care. Besides that plot hole, there was an ongoing joke drama series, like in the TV of the series, and it was about an actor named Jackal and his like unfunny adventures. The jokes were too long, there were too many, they were unfunny. I'm pretty sure there was like a few more minutes in every episode about that, where the MC was like sitting naked with like a parrot on his shoulder, like eating something, drinking something, and just watching the drama. It was very unfunny, but at the very end we got like a message that says this series will continue next year, like inside the TV drama, the thing about the Jackal. But I have a feeling that it actually targeted to the main the Fable actual series, and not toward the in-anime series, like the anime in the anime. So like mind-blowing, yeah. But anyway, I do hope it's true because I do love this series and I very much want to see more of it. So what did I love? What did I love? I loved everything, from the music to the characters to the fact that I could not tell what gonna be like the next plotline is. I could not call like I usually do when I watch an anime. I just sit down and I'm like, oh, okay, this is gonna happen next episode, and then I'm right and I'm like, oh, come on. So I don't even bother watching. I like play something while it is on my other screen. I do something completely different. But no, there were barely any plotlines I could actually say, okay, this was gonna happen. And yes, the main big plotline I could read, yeah, he was gonna save her, everything's gonna be like a good ending. But it wasn't such a good ending. It was more nuanced than that. So that's why I liked it. And this is why I gave it like a heavier score. Every time I rate an anime, I give like this aspect of the anime a higher score, because I read hundreds, if not thousands of series, read and watched animes and manhwas and mangas. So I have seen many storylines. So if you can surprise me and show me something that I don't know, I'm very excited. I could sit here and analyze every single scene in the series, like how when the main character started helping the stalked girl, the girl from the first part, he started eating his fish differently. Usually he eats the whole fish. He starts from the head and he eats everything. But when he started helping her, he ate the fish differently, just like she told him. He left the head completely still, and he left the bone also, which he usually doesn't do. And he did that just before he actually changed his behavior to act a bit differently. This kind of like small signals are pretty cool and nice to see when you actually try and look for them. It is pretty cool. But I don't want to sit here for 3+ hours. I don't want to edit like this giant long epic mega review video. So you will just have to watch this series for yourself and use your brain to actually notice those kind of stuff. Or just watch my other video which points out like some of the stuff, not all of them. I give this series a 9 out of 10. The only reason I took 1 point away is the excessive use of the unfunny jokes to just inflate some of the episodes. but this just might be my type of this just might be not my type of humor, so that's why I only take 1 point. And I don't know, just go ahead and watch it, enjoy it. But that's gonna be it. I hope you enjoyed this fun video. Thank you. If you didn't, then I want to know why, because I really enjoyed this series. Again, one of my best. Keep yourself safe. See you in the next one. Bye bye.